Okay, good day everyone. So today we'll be doing January 2022, number 3, right? And in this question, the first question, they said the box below contains the number of names of 5 quadrilaterals. Quadrilateral just means four-sided shapes, right? We have trapezium, a rhombus, a kite, a square, a rectangle. Now let's just draw a trapezium. A trapezium looks something like this, right? Then a rhombus looks something like this. A kite is a little bit longer, right? Then we have a square, four sides are equal. That's a rectangle. We have a square, which is your four sides are equal. Right now, this is how the shapes would look. Choose the name of one quadrilateral from the boxes that best describes each statement. A. Something has no lines of symmetry and has a rotational symmetry of order 1. Now, if we look at any of these, the only one that does not have a line of symmetry is this first one, which is a trapezium. P-E-Z-I-U-M. Z-I-U-M. The next one, a something has exactly 2 lines of symmetry and 4 right angles. A kite does not have any right angles. A rhombus has, but their 4 sides are equal. A square has 4, and all 4 sides are equal. The only one that has 2 lines of symmetry and 4 right angles is this image right here, which is your rectangle. Right, then a something has one line of symmetry but no rotational symmetry. Has one line of symmetry but no rotational symmetry. Right, would not be a square because a square has more than one. It cannot be this, it cannot be this, it cannot be this because a trapezium has no lines of symmetry. Right, it cannot be this because, as I said, a rhombus is more like a shifted square. Right? The only one that is possible is this one here, which is a kite. So a kite has one line of symmetry, but no rotational symmetries. Right, now let's look at this. Now, when you see questions like this, the diagram below shows 4 straight lines, 2 of which are parallel. Determine the values of Q and R. The first thing you need to remember or recall, there are angles that are found within a Z. Right, there's these angles here. These angles are known as alternate angles. And that is, if I call this X and X, these two are equal. Then there's the ones that have the X, which have the vertically opposite sides. So I'm just gonna, right? The colors show the vertically opposite. So these are vertically opposite. So if they're vertically opposite each other, they are also equal. So this angle that is drawn in black would be equal to this angle that is drawn in black. And this one that is drawn in blue would be equal to this one drawn in blue. Right? So we actually are seeing X's here. We're seeing Z's, maybe not on purpose, but we're seeing the Z going down, going up. Right? This, let me just use this. We're seeing the Z if we go like this, down, down, across. We can see that is a Z. Then we have X's. We have an X here, an X here, an X here, and an X here. So if we look at what they gave us, right, we can clearly see that this angle here and this one here, 54, are vertically opposite each other. So therefore, because R is vertically opposite 54, therefore R is equals to 54 degrees. Then the next thing we know is that the Z angles, that is this, goes down and then goes across, although we're not seeing it. Let's just draw it. This here, and this here. You're seeing your Z, right? What we have to recognize is we're trying to find out, if we find out this angle that is drawn in red, we'll also find out the angle for Q. Now, we And next thing you should recognize is if it's a straight line, right, that we are seeing, so this entire thing that is in green, I'll be drawing just now, this entire thing that is in green here is on a straight line, and that is equal to 180. So it is safe to say that R, not R, we'll call this side Q, because it is Q, right? 54, which is R, plus Q would be equal to 180. So therefore Q, let's do this in the place, right? So we're going to say 54 plus Q is equals to 180. So Q is equals to 180 minus 54, which is equals to 126. That would be your answer. Yeah, 126 degrees is Q. Right, and then R, we already found out R is vertically opposite 54 degrees, so R is 54. Right, and those would be your answers for part 1. Now let's look at part 2. Give a geometric reason why angle P is equals to 71. So if we look at P and 71, what shape are we seeing? Are we seeing a Z? We are. Let's put this in a different color so you can see, right? P and 51 are alternate angles. So because angle P and 71 degrees are alternate angles, because P and 71 are alternate angles, P is equals to 71 degrees, right? And that is how you would do this question right here, right? Let's do part C now. The diagram below shows triangles image, the first image of X, Y, and Z, which is this, and then the second image of X, Y, and Z, which is this, drawn on the square grid. Right, now they said triangle, the first image of X, Y, and Z is the image of triangle X, Y, and Z after enlargement of scale factor 2 with a center of 5, 1. So first off, this here would be two sizes, the shape of image X, Y, and Z. And we know anything for enlargement is first we need to calculate, well, not calculate, we need to locate where is 5, 1. So that is this here. So if we to connect each side with our angles, right? Not our angles, with our coordinate. Right, so let's go like this, and then we're going to connect it to the coordinate here, right? And then you're going to take this here and connect it to this coordinate here, right? And then we're going to connect it and pass it through this coordinate right here, right? We're going to see that our original triangle is supposed to be somewhere in here. And if we know anything about this, XZ is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units, and we know it is a scale factor of 2. So we know that K was equal to your object over your image. Right, and K is to your object, which is what we have here. Not your object over your image, sorry, it is your image over your object. Your image, which is what we have, divided by your object. Right, so we know is 2 is equal to, we'll take the length of XZ, right, so that's 4, so our image divided by a O. Right, now we can clearly see it would be 4 divided by 2, right? So, but let's carry it across. If we carry across, divide by O, it's going to be multiply. So it's 2O is equals to 4, then you carry across O, not carry across O, no. You carry across 2 because you want to have O by itself, right? So we know O is equals to 4 divided by 2. So my object would be 2 units in length. So we're going to look for a line that has 2 units, and we're seeing it here. Our line would go here and here. Right? Now, if this is 2, right, we can make this here. Right? And you just connect the 2. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So therefore, it would be only 2 units we're using. And this here would be X, Y, and Z. Your object, X, Y, and Z. Right? So what we do is you check to see what is the scale factor. You know that X and Z. So these coordinates, X, your center of enlargement, your X in your object, and your X in your image must all be going through the same point. Same thing for Y, same thing for Z. So that is how we get the area in which you would see where X, Y, and Z is. We also know that XZ or ZX is 2 times the length of image XZ. So if it would be something multiplied by 2 to give you 4 units, and we know that something is 2. So that is how we find out which side would have 2 unit lengths of, yes, which side would have 2 unit lengths, and we see that was this from this here and this coordinate here, and then we just draw the triangle to suit, right? And that is how you would get this answer, right? And then they say triangle, the first image X, Y, and Z is mapped onto the second triangle image, the second image x2, y2, z2 by reflection in a line P. State the equation of line P. So to find that equation, we're going to find the distance from y1 to y2. So we know it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To find my mirror line, I just divide that length divided by 2. So when I divide by 2, I'm going to find out that is how much space between our object and our mirror line, or image and mirror line. I'm just going to do for the image from the object, sorry, 1, 2, 3. So my mirror line is going to be right here, right? Now, if we were to draw a line, let's draw a line. You'll see that that equation is where x is equal to 2. And that would be your answer for this last question. State the equation of the mirror line P. X is equal to P. And that is it for January 2022.